Welcome to the sleepy little hollow of the woods in the secret space of the countryside where we find ourselves hidden in a quaint little cabin deep in the woods with a fair maiden whose voice draws all the woodland creatures nearby to her. Our very own lovely Snow, who is sheltered and hidden from prying eyes, but dreams the dream of true love's kiss to save her from all this hardship she feels she has to endure out here in the forest alone. Our story is beginning with Snow, who has ran away from her evil stepmother and come out here to the forest searching for a better life. Knowing that her stepmother wishes for her death, she is fearful of all elderly women as her stepmother has the power to mask her physical traits and can look like someone else, and Snow is sure she is not safe. She hopes to one day find someone to help her escape this threat, but until then she hides in her forest with the creatures dreaming of that day. And so it begins. Welcome back to our Disney Princess Challenge. This is episode 1, and as you can see, our cottage does look a little bit different. When I try to enter into the game, unfortunately, the cottage that I had built for them was corrupted and the save file was unable to be brought back to life. So I was unable to enter in. I had to basically retrieve our Sims and I had to find her a new cottage. So this is our cottage for Snow. I found it on the gallery and I feel that it's going to be able to serve our purposes. So for this, we're going to go ahead and start with a little bit of a tour of her new cottage and then we'll get started. I do want to just give you a quick tour of the home since it is new. When we go into the front here, we do have a little bit of a foyer where we have some bookshelves and a place where she can sit and do a little bit of knitting and painting. And then there is straight off from there a kitchen that has all of the amenities that we need. So we have our fridge and our wood burning stove here. We have us a little bit of a teapot and Granny's cookbook mod so that we can cook our lovely meals that we absolutely love to have. Off of that, we have a living room, which as you can see, Snow is already in here taking advantage of, which is fantastic. There's a fireplace in here and just a little bit of a seating arrangement, so that's fantastic. And then we have in this area just a little bit of a hallway. It leads up into a playroom for the children. So they have some things where they can build their skills. And off of that, we have a bathroom. This is their tiny little quaint bathroom. We have a nursery here. It's nothing to boast about, but as we have children and they grow, we will obviously be adapting this room to fit everyone. And then off of that we have Snow's room. This is her father, the first king. He has obviously passed away. We know that he is no longer with us, so he has died. She does have a relationship with the first king and with her evil queen, the evil stepmother. They do not have a good relationship, as we well know, but as we know, the evil stepmother, the evil queen, is in the game, and she, doesn't like Snow. She is looking to harm her. And so Snow has run away here into the forest and is hiding out. She is looking to basically live her life out here in this quaint cabin, and she is looking to start over and try to run from this tragedy that her life has become. So we are starting this story out. We are going to see Snow as she has her life unfold here in this forest. We know that she is to avoid elderly women. We know that she's not supposed to answer the door to strangers. She does have to meet someone at some point so that she can somehow go ahead and have a bit of a life and have 7 children, because she does need to have those little dwarves. And so I'm not sure how we're going to make that happen yet, but at some point we will need to make that happen. She is feeling a little bit tired. I'm just going to go ahead and have her go into the bedroom and get herself a little bit of rest. It is early still in the day, but she had a bit of a long night and she is going to just get herself a little bit of rest here. As far as her skills go, she has a plethora of skills. it would seem. She has some archaeology, some painting, parenting, singing, media production, flower arranging, baking, gourmet cooking, mixology, wellness, a 3 in cooking, herbalism, fishing, logic, gardening, fitness, handiness, photography, and charisma. All of those are level 1 with exception to her cooking skill, which is at a level 3. She made herself some bacon and eggs, and when she did that, her cooking skill went up quite significantly. So we love that for her. We are just going to have her go ahead and pick up a little bit, and we will let her take care of her needs because it does look like she needs to go ahead and go off to the washroom here. And then maybe we can let her go ahead and start working on a painting. She's feeling a little bit flirty right now, so we'll let her do a flirty painting and see how that goes. We do want to obviously work on some of her painting skills, and that way she can make some money for the house. She currently has 21,497 simoleons. We don't necessarily need a whole lot of funds considering, I mean, she doesn't do anything. She's by herself right now, and I don't necessarily think she's going to need money. But when the children start to come, we are going to need the money to take care of them and to purchase beds and the things that they're going to need to take care of them. So we do want to stockpile a little bit of funds. So we are going to have her go ahead and do all of those things. It is the TV season premiere today, so I may go ahead and let her watch the TV season premiere just so that we can go ahead and meet that milestone for this holiday. And then maybe we'll go ahead and we'll get her out and we'll let her meet some of the woodland creatures, and we will possibly even let her go out and meet some people today. We do want her, like I said, meeting people. I did put Prince Florian in the game, so I would like her to meet him at some point. Obviously, he is the prince that she is destined to be with. So I would like for their paths to cross at some point. I'm not sure how that's going to come about, that turn of events, but if they could meet and he could potentially be a prospect for her as I have made him for her, I'm hoping that they will somehow be able to cross paths. So we will see if they can somehow, some way meet in the game and she can get to know him a little bit better. So that will be fantastic if that can take place, and hopefully he can be the baby daddy, and you know, maybe Prince Florian in the movie will also be the person that happens to be with her in our story of Snow White. So she's just out here taking a look at the creatures, and she is trying to get to know them a little bit. She doesn't really have anything that she can give them as far as gifts go, so she did become acquaintances with Ketchup. She's going to go ahead and sing to Ketchup, and maybe they can go ahead and become friends. As we know, she does have a nice singing voice. Ketchup doesn't seem to be liking the singing. Ketchup is like, why are you singing to me? Okay, that scared Ketchup off. Discordant area. Snow tried having a magical fairy tale moment with a furry friend, but the fox clearly thought she was unable to carry a tune. Okay, well, great. We love that for her. All right, maybe we can get her to come out here and dig some things, and we can make some use of items that we find in the area. She's obviously going to have some low social if she doesn't meet anyone and she doesn't make friends. We will avoid women. But aside from that, she found a gem, and she now has the gem skill, it says. What did that say? Acquired the gemology skill. Snow has begun her journey into the gemology skill, using the gemology table to cut gemstones and craft jewelry, or collect crystals and metals to level up and unlock more jewelry and gemstones to design, and gemstones designs to craft. Okay. All right, she's feeling still a little tired. Why are you so tired all the time? Go in here and have yourself a little sleep. No chatting with Lily. Lily is not someone you can chat with. She's an elder, and that is not okay. All right, once you're done with that, why don't you go ahead and watch the season premiere. of the series premiere, and then you can get yourself a little bit of leftovers because you're starting to feel a little bit hungry. Now, you will remember that Snow is erratic, so she constantly is talking to herself and having fits of erratic natures. And I think that is going to make this for a very interesting gameplay because we never know what Snow's going to be up to. She is currently thinking about her dad. It looks like she has a moodlet here that she wants to do something with her dad, but unfortunately, as we know, her dad is no longer with us. I'm sure she really, really misses him. He did die suddenly and left her with her evil queen stepmother, and now she's had to run away out here into the middle of nowhere, and she's all alone. And, I'm sure that isn't easy for her, being out here by herself and not knowing what she is going to, do with her time, and, that's definitely not ideal. All right, so she did go ahead and watch this TV premiere. It does seem like she was not necessarily a fan of that show, but her mind is blown right now. The twists and turns came out of nowhere, and when the lead betrayed... Okay, it's gone. When the lead betrayed her mother like that, Snow can't wait to share these spoilers. Okay, great. All right, can you maybe knit some clothing? Let's knit some beanies and see if we can... she's like, no, I don't think so. You're not making me do that. Okay, well, why don't you go ahead and get yourself a washroom break and get yourself a bath. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning. You should probably go ahead and get yourself some sleep. She's like, I'm not tired because you let me sleep so much during the day. I realize that. We now have our days and nights mixed up, and we just absolutely love that, don't we? There's nothing around the area that we can pick. Maybe at some point we'll get us something where we can plant some things. I would like her to get some gardening under her belt. So maybe we will plant some things. I think I would like to do that. She's going to come out and talk to this fox. It's 3 o'clock in the morning, but hey, what better to do than try to talk to the fox? You could knit. That's what you could do. This Ketchup fox, this fox named Ketchup is... starting to try to talk with her, so we love that. Are you actually going to knit? Okay, we love that. So we are going to get her knitting a little bit. I do want her practicing knitting. Maybe then she can make a little bit of money off of that. Maybe we can do a browse all profiles. Let's browse the profiles. Maybe she can actually meet Prince Florian on the profile. Maybe he's on the Meet and Mingle app as well, and that would be a way that they could meet. I don't know that she would actually have that option out here way in the middle of nowhere with this not so modern living situation that she's living in, but she does have a television, so maybe let me know what you guys think. Should we get rid of the television and make her have a more rustic life? If you think so, let me know in the comments. We can always take her television away and make her live a more rustic life. Technically, I have given her a pretty rustic life here. She's not off the grid. She isn't doing like a simple living challenge or anything like that, but she does have more rustic furnishings in her home. But I haven't gone completely old school here or anything like that. So if you think we should get rid of her television and make her go a little more rustic, then we can totally do that. Just let me know in the comments what you think about that. I am going to see if she can browse the profiles and she can meet Prince Florian that way, just because he lives in Tomarang in a castle, and so they do live significantly far apart. I don't know the odds that they're going to actually bump into each other, her being way out here in Hemford-on-Bagley, and so the likelihood that they're just going to bump into one another is quite slim. But if they're on the same Meet and Mingle app, there's a good possibility that maybe they could meet one another. So we will see if that is a possibility. If not, then we may have to take her out to some of the local taverns possibly and see if maybe she can meet him that way. So let's just see if Prince Florian is on here anywhere. And of course he's not. So we're probably going to have to take her to a tavern and see if she can meet him that way. Because otherwise I don't think she's going to be able to meet him. So maybe we can take her out to a tavern and see about her meeting him that way. She does have to be really, really careful going out and meeting strangers. But let's go ahead. It's like 5 o'clock in the morning. I think that might be a little soon to be, trampsing around in taverns. But let's take her and let her travel and see about where we can go. Let's go look in the Tomarang area and see if there's anywhere that she could visit. All right, she could go to the lounge here and see in his area and see if he's maybe there. So we'll take her there. I know that's a bit of a far distance, but she is trying to stay as far away from the evil queen as she can. And she's thinking, if I go out of the area, maybe I won't be noticed by anyone. So she's made it here. The only person that's here is an elderly woman. There's an elderly gentleman at the bar. There are a couple of people that are coming and going, but as we can see, Prince Florian definitely is not here. I mean, he's probably at his castle tending to, royal things. And I don't know that he's actually going to just kind of come and show up at a bar at 6:45 in the morning. The likelihood of that happening is probably really slim. Let's go ahead and go in. We can, go and give a Tomarang introduction to this lady. Obviously, we don't want to put ourselves out or anything like that. We don't want to just meet strangers and put ourselves at risk. But she's thinking to herself, like, I'm far from home. I am not really at a place where I have to worry. And so she's feeling a little bit like her guard doesn't have to be up so high. And she's feeling a little bit safe here in Tomarang because she is so far from her kind of realm of where her, as she feels, evil stepmother's reaches. But what she doesn't know is that the evil stepmother can, have people watching and looking out for her. And she could potentially still be at risk. Let's go ahead and order a little bit of food here because she is starting to get a little bit hungry. So she's just going to go ahead and eat this meal that she just ordered, and then we'll get her hunger needs up. And we're just waiting to see. Oh, that's clearly hot. She's not used to that. She's like, wow, that's a little spicier than I thought it was going to be. Holy moly. She's really not used to the temperature of the food here. But she's just kind of looking around, hoping that someone is going to show up that could be a suitable, mate for her. Who's this? Let's do a friendly introduction to this gentleman. He is not the prince, but he is a gentleman that she could meet. He's walking away quite far. I mean, you're taking your sweet ass time eating that. Okay, whatever you do, don't talk to that elderly woman. She is not okay to talk to. I mean, she's just not okay to talk to. She will be a problem for you. All right, so we're just going to have her go maybe for a little bit of a jog, and maybe she can meet someone while she's out and about running around, and she will maybe run into the prince. The likelihood of that happening is probably slim, but she's hoping that she's going to see someone that she can maybe meet. Who is this? He's an elder. She's feeling really playful and really happy right now. She is liking the fact that she's out in nature and she is, kind of in a new area. She's getting to see the scenery, even though she is not getting the social that she needs and she hasn't really met anyone. She's thinking to herself, it's lovely here, and I am hopeful that I'm going to run into someone, I'll meet someone, and I will be able to, find someone that I can share my life with. She's just not sure who that person's going to be just quite yet. And to be completely honest, I don't know if we're going to be able to find Prince Florian. She's feeling really great after her run. That has really, really made her happy. There he is. Stop running. Go meet him. What are the odds? He looks really scared. Okay, why are you panicking, Prince Florian? Don't run away from us. We're trying to come meet you. Quit panicking. Come meet us. Look at him. He's like, really, what are you scared of? Here, let us come meet you. We're going to introduce ourselves to you. Look at her chase him down. She's like, what are you running from? Is something wrong with you?
Dag, dag.
Sure.
Is everything okay? And he's feeling really, really scared, so she's going to try to calm him down.
Badish. Sturm Garsha Thark. Thark. Etak. Thark. Eh?
Oh, one.
Snow can't stop laughing. That joke Prince just told her was way too good. After being dazzled by that marvelous bit of humor, Snow is thinking about jokes and how great they can be for a conversation. Is this a moment of realization that Snow likes jokes? Yeah, sure. Why don't you brighten his day, make him feel better? She's clearly gotten him in a better mood. Just talking with him has gotten him out of being in a scared mood, and she's made him feel, much better. They've decided that they're going to do a little bit of cloud gazing. I absolutely love that for them. And it would seem that they have a little bit of a sentiment together. So we are going to look and take a look and see what their sentiment is. Let's just take a look at that. It looks here like she perceives him as extremely attractive. It says, Snow's sentiments about Prince is that he is responsible. This sim appears to be a very responsible person, capable of taking care of stuff and willing to care for others. And Prince's sentiments about Snow is that she's funny. It's impossible not to notice that this sim has a striking sense of humor. Okay, well, we love that. And they are currently building up their friendship quite significantly, which we absolutely love. So he's asking her where she's from, and she's letting him know that she's actually from Himford-on-Bagley. She's just in the area trying to learn about new areas, and she wanted to see the scenery. And he's like, oh, that's really nice. And she's like, yeah. And he's like, do you travel often? And she's like, not really, but I needed to get away. And he's like, away from what? And she's like, it's a really long story. I'd really rather not talk about it. And he's like, oh, okay. And she's like, I just don't want to bring down the mood. And he's like, I see. And she's like, there's just a lot of things in my life that are a little bit complicated, and I'm just trying to kind of escape. And he's like, I understand. He's like, I have a little bit of things in my life that I like to escape too. And she's like, really? How could that be? And he's like, oh, just the pressures of life sometimes can be a bit much. And she's like, oh, I see. And he's like, yeah. So, he has the pressures of life of being a prince and the duties and responsibilities that come with that. And she obviously is talking about something much more horrific. She has a stepmother that wants to kill her, and he just has the duties and responsibilities of being a prince and obviously the potential of being king one day. And he's just like, I think that maybe, he's thinking maybe their lives might be a little bit the same, and they're clearly not. Are you gonna finish this cloud gazing and start doing some other things? Maybe we can be a little bit flirty with him. Why don't you try to do a little bit of a flirt, and don't be erratic in front of him. That's not the way to go, Snow. That's just not the way to go. But she's gonna give him a little flirt, and she's gonna ask him if he's single. Oh, he liked that. He was very keen for the flirt.
Ah, yibs. Narfa. Fazu whipped an bit. Femboy Barovi. Gungane Ansa.
So she is going to go ahead and confess her attraction to him. She's just going to tell him, you are a beautiful man. And he's going to be like, oh, and she's going to be like, yes, you are. So she is flirting with him. She's just telling him how she is attracted to him, and she's kind of doing a little bit of a pickup line with him in the midst of her, like, telling him jokes and things like that and stories. She's just let him know that, like, she thinks he is quite beautiful. And I think he's taken that pretty well, but she's also got the impression that he finds her quite attractive as well. But we're going to have to send Snow home now because she is desperate for a wee. So she's going to tell him goodbye, and we're going to go ahead and send her on home. Obviously, she will be able to see him later. So we have arrived back at the house. Let's go ahead and send her in to the loo. She's going to go and take care of her bladder needs, and then we are going to go ahead and maybe we will go in here and just let her grab a bite to eat when she's done. And she's, you know, feeling really, really flirty. She says here, coy smiles and flirtatious jokes have set the tone for romance. She's feeling really, really great about her meeting with Florian, and she's thinking to herself, like, that could not have gone better. Like, I went out, I had a beautiful day in the city of Tomarang, and I ended up meeting this great guy who's absolutely gorgeous, and she's thinking, you know, maybe I, you know, could see him again and things could, you know, progress, and maybe he could be the one. And she's really just fantasizing about this in her head. You know, she's clearly attracted to him, but she's also got the picture in her head that he finds her attractive, and she's hoping that things maybe could progress with them and that they could maybe become something. So she is going to go ahead and she's just going to ask him if he'd like to maybe come and hang out at her house. She has no idea that he's a prince. She has no idea how wealthy he is, and money doesn't matter to her at all. But she, you know, is going to invite him over to this quaint little cottage, not realizing how well-to-do he is. And he's going to take one look at these surroundings, and I think he would be like, oh, wow, she's like, you know, quite the pauper. But she feels really pleased by her little humble abode. And she's, you know, not proud or anything like that. Like, she's just like, you know, whatever it is, what it is. And we're going to go ahead and have a deep conversation with him. And we're going to try to build on their relationship some. I think that, you know, she is really trying to, like, let's give him a bit of an embrace. Oh, they're so cute together. Why don't you get to know him a little bit and offer him a rose? He's family oriented, so she's gonna ask him, oh, you're family oriented, do you want children someday? And he's gonna be like, well, I hope he's gonna say yes. I'd like having children. Oh, that's wonderful. So she's gonna confess her attraction to him, and she's just gonna say, I, you know, am really attracted to you. I think that, you know, since we're so close, I would really like, you know, to and, you know, give you a house key so that you can come around whenever you'd like. And he's like, really? And she's like, yeah, you know, I trust you. And he's like, okay. So she's given him a house key so he can come over whenever he wants. You know, they've become really good friends, and she feels like he's really trustworthy for some reason. And, you know, she's like, I just feel like, you know, you're someone that I can confide in and someone that I can share my hopes and dreams with. And he's like, really? And she's like, yeah, I really do. And she's learned that he is single. So she's doing a little bit of a sexy pose with him. He's taking photos. We love that. She's like, do you want to actually come in? Like, you don't have to stand outside. You can absolutely come inside. He's like, okay, I don't mind if I do.
Kluba Gloon.
Ooh, them Clafoof Gaffa.
So she's like, gonna tell him that, you know, she's feeling really close with him, and she's gonna ask him if he'd like to be her boyfriend. because she's like, I really sense a closeness with you. I really sense an attraction to you. And I just would like to know if maybe you'd like to be in a relationship with me. And hopefully he's going to say yes to that. I would really like to see them be in a relationship. And if he tells her yes, then obviously that is going to be amazing. And he does say yes. He doesn't seem to be at all mind by the fact that she has, you know, a quaintness about her home. And, you know, I think he is thinking to himself, if we are together, like, maybe she's going to care that I am rich. Maybe that's going to put her off. But he can clearly see that she's not about money. And he just, you know, realizes that he's keeping these secrets from her. But he just doesn't want to tell her just yet, like, who he is. Because he doesn't want to ruin it. Like, he really just doesn't want to ruin it. So they're going to go in here. They're going to celebrate their relationship with a woohoo. He seems real keen about that, by the way. He used a condom. Are you serious right now? Okay, we may have to try again and see if maybe we can do try for baby and if that will work. No protection was used. Okay, that time he didn't use protection. So she's like, okay. Not that she's trying to trap him. I don't think she's trying to trap him. But at the same time, like, you know, it is what it is. All right, so Snow's in here. She's going to take herself a pregnancy test because, you know, they had a woohoo. And she is waiting for those results. And she's wondering what that's going to be. And it turns out that Snow is pregnant. And so she's like, oh my goodness. But Prince Florian has decided that he's going to go ahead and leave. And she's like, but I need to tell him that I'm expecting. But he's gone. He is going to have no idea that she is carrying his child. And she's like, how am I going to break the news to him when I see him next? And hopefully she sees him again before she has his baby. Because obviously she is, you know, about to give birth to his little one soon, like, obviously. And he is going to be thinking to himself, that was awfully sudden. And then what is going to happen? So we are going to go ahead and leave this episode off here with her just getting pregnant with the first baby, the first little dwarf. We are going to go ahead and we are going to see her in our next episode where we will be having the little one. We will obviously hopefully be able to see Prince Florian before then so we can let him know that we are having his child and he doesn't just show up and there's a baby here. But that's what we're going to be doing in our next episode. Thank you so much for joining me for episode 1 of our Disney Princess Challenge. And I will see you guys again in episode 2. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you are notified when new episodes go live on the channel. And I will see you guys in our next episode of Disney Princess Challenge. And until next time, I'm going to go ahead and fly for now. Bye, Ravens.